This is the Town of Lake Park, Florida regular commission meeting for Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. The time is now 6:35 p.m. Can we have the clerk please take the roll call?
Commissioner Linden?
Here.
Commissioner O'Rourke?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas? Vice Mayor Hensley?
Here.
Mayor Mashad?
Here. Can we all please rise for the pledge? Okay, thank you. And welcome everybody tonight to the meeting. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. And just off the bat, just to let everybody know, item number 6 on new business will be pulled from the agenda. That's regarding the agreement for the Marina Pump House System replacement by Marina Makers for $23,505.50. Okay? If there are any other items that, or I should say, if there are any questions and or modifications need to be made, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The approval of the agenda passes unanimously. Next, I have nothing under special presentation and report. So next we have public comment. I do have public comment cards for non-agenda items as well as agenda items. Okay. As you know, public comment is 3 minutes, so please be mindful of the person that's speaking. Do not have any outbursts or anything like that. And allow that person to speak on the microphone because we are recording this. So I ask that you be respectful to that person. And to the person that's up there, you do have 3 minutes, so please pay attention to the clock as well. I will call first Susan LaFontaine. And for the record, we do have your written comment.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Susan LaFontaine, 545 Evergreen Drive. I request the Commission to direct the reinitiation of videotaping the Planning and Zoning Board meetings and posting those videos on the town's website. This was done from September 2023 through September 2025 and then stopped. Why? I can't find this discontinuation ever addressed in any Planning and Zoning Board or Commission meeting minutes. I know the town needs to closely watch its expenditures, but these videos promote transparency, accurate record keeping, and accessibility and participation of an informed community. And since planning and zoning meeting minutes are often not available on the Municode website for weeks or even months, posting these planning and zoning meeting videos also informs you, the Commission, if you were unable to attend a particular P&Z board meeting of discussions, public comment, and decisions made during those meetings. If taping and posting these videos is too large an expense, perhaps posting them for just 3 or 6 months would be a cost-effective compromise. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Chris Steele. And welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners. Chris Steele, 301 Lakeshore. Spoke a couple weeks ago, Commissioner O'Rourke, about some of the challenges that we have with your positions, and I would have let this go, but I mentioned at the meeting a few weeks ago when the forest team was here that happened to notice that the forest team left out the back doors. You immediately got up and left also. Now, you spoke up a couple weeks ago, said you went to the restroom. The problem I have with it is you left that door and you came back in this door, the same door the forest team left from. So you spoke up a couple weeks ago. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything tonight.
As you know, Mr. Steele, this is...
I know. He spoke up a couple weeks ago. I thought maybe he would. I'm going to request the camera footage because I'd like to know. I don't understand if you went to the restroom why you would leave this door, leave the building, and come back in these doors several minutes later. So, I mean, I think you can understand why we would be concerned. So that's all I have to say if he's got nothing to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg Morrison?
Hi, my name is Greg Morrison. I'm a co-owner of Primo Yachts. I'm here with my partner, Mark Tottelli. Many of you probably remember I spoke a couple weeks ago, public comment, just kind of outlining some of our issues that we've had trying to move forward with our business. Since then, we've had the opportunity to speak to some of the members of the town council, as well as had a great conversation with Nadia on the phone on Monday. And I feel like just want to let you guys know I feel like we're kind of starting to move forward, and you guys are open to some of our proposals and ideas. And I really think that our business will have a great impact for the town and has it's a great place for it. So we just wanted to say thank you and just kind of let you guys know that we feel like we've been welcomed, and I feel like we're moving forward. We've been a member of the town breakfast meeting the past few months, and a lot of the members all of the members actually are very supportive, and some of them are here tonight to show their support, and we're just great to have that support as part of the community that we hope to be a part of soon too. So that's all I have to say. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Michael Athmer?
Michael Abner, I used to live in Lake Park. I don't, but I'm still a fan of Lake Park. And I want to speak on behalf of Primo Yachts. I'm very excited they are coming to town. Beautiful location. And the city is very happy with them as well. But the city has them handcuffed because they have a showroom. They sell boats. They're going to sell boats. But they are not allowed to load because the code says you can't load. So what are they going to do? They're going to put paper boats in there. They have side doors that they can load boats on. And it's only for the showroom. So it's like once or twice, or maybe a couple times a year, they're going to put a boat in, and when they're going to exchange it, they're going to take the boat out. It's on the side, Bayberry. But the code says you can't load from the front, which is, it's really, this is also silly because it's not even from the front. It's Bayberry. So I would love to see them thrive and become successful. But with those rules that you have that are really silly at times, there's got to be rules, but loading from the front 3 times a year is not loading every day with a big truck. So I would ask the commission to change from being a human doing to become a human being and actually help businesses and think with businesses and help them succeed. You want a business to succeed, but you handcuff them. All your rules, like I said, there's got to be rules, but there's got to be flexibility with that as well. So I would ask the commission to be a little more flexible and more business-friendly than you've been, and just look at practical things and not just rules are the rules. You're not a robot. You are a human being, so you want Lake Park to thrive. You want them to be successful. So then be nice and be business-like and help the businesses. That's all I had to say. So hopefully we can make that happen, and we're going to have another thriving business in Lake Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Bonnie Siegfried?
Good evening. I'm Bonnie Siegfried, and
You want to bring the mic down a little bit closer? Yeah. There you go.
Commanding. I went to a presentation regarding the yachts and Nautilus 220 in the showroom. I was very impressed, and I echo everything that Michael Athner said, and I'm just looking forward to enhancing the building, bringing people over that will see the yachts, see the marina, see the building, see Lake Park, and have it all come together. Thank you very much for your attention and your time.
Thank you. Edward Page?
Edward Page, I'm on behalf of E. Page Consulting and these fine gentlemen from Primo Yachts. As a consultant, I travel up and down 95 to Dade County, a lot of cities around. I don't know if you guys have a slogan, but if you do, it should be Lake Park, the town of heaven on earth. I have had the opportunity to deal with the staff here, and out of all of the municipalities that I have to deal with, everybody has been very, very extremely helpful, in my opinion. And as I said, I've been doing this for about 15 years in Palm Beach County, Dade County, and Broward County. And I think we have come to some conclusion on what could be done. I'm very familiar with the codes and things that have to be done, and it's minor adjustments that can be adjusted in the code. Takes a little bit of time, but things like that can happen. I want to thank this committee in advance for all the help. I want to thank the staff, and especially Nadia and her fine staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Taylor.
Good evening. I'm Mary Taylor. I live at 209 Park Avenue. And tonight, on a positive note, I want to make a comment about during my daily Publix visit, I paused while facing straight at the Avalon apartment complex. It's a lovely architecturally, even before completion. The comments from shoppers and residents are heartwarmingly positive. Finally, we have a solid example of what our PADD could look like and we could all be proud of. In contrast to, and I don't want to be negative because I mean, some people think it's a beautiful building, to the negative, unrepeatable descriptions of the glass monolith on US 1. Now, maybe that's the place for it, but I'm talking about the PADD. How about a simple survey of town residents? Both buildings are physically available to see and compare. Please consider. It is crucial to get something permanent that's going to be there for 100 years right than to live with the negative consequences for 100 years. I also observe, because I'm fortunate, I live on Park Avenue, and I look out my window and I see the world go by, I see Lake Park go by, about the proliferation of personal electric transportation. All kinds. You'd be surprised how many people are riding electric bikes and scooters and all kind of stuff, regular bicycles but I would like to know if plans are being developed to accommodate their increasing numbers. I know James liked to talk about it, and I don't know what happened to James. I should stop by and see him. If anybody knows, let me know if he's okay, because I know he's an observer too, and that's about all I wanted to say is, I brought it up years ago that we have a mobility plan, and I really haven't seen any movement toward that, but they're ahead of us. The electric vehicles are way ahead of us. Transportation, I'm not talking about vehicles, I'm talking about modes of transportation, and I would like to see a little consideration for them as far as giving them a space to travel, especially on Park Avenue, because they're women, children, men, and looks like a lot of them had their backpacks and they're using it for transportation to go to work, and that's what we all wanted. Years ago, they kept talking about, the transportation, cutting down on the vehicles, and with our new residents, which I welcome, I can't wait till the people over in, by Publix move in. That'll be a nice group of young people, and they'll have a place to, like Brady Drew said, the guys at Florida Power and Light, they need a place to rent, so I'm looking forward to that, and I feel very welcome to the people at Nautilus, and I hope they're
thank you, Ms.
happy
Taylor.
in their home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all the public comments cards I have for right now. I do have two more, but they're for an actual agenda item. Next, we have the consent agenda. If there are any modifications need to be made, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve agenda?
I would like to pull number 2 for discussion.
Okay, so
Withdraw that motion?
we withdraw that motion. Commissioner Linden would like to pull number 2 out of consent. Would anybody like to make a motion on the one remaining item, which is the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The consent agenda passes unanimously. I will go ahead and go to this resolution right now. That's Resolution 430526, an agreement RFQ 116-2025 for specialized landscape maintenance services at Burt Boston Park by Chris Wayne and Associates for $58,800 annually at $4,900 per month. Commissioner Linden, you asked for this agenda item to be pulled. You may begin.
All right, thank you. The cost to do this is astronomical. When I read through everything that it was covered, it was filled in there pretty nicely. But we have the equipment and the staff in-house to be able to cut this, fertilize it, and trim it. Why are we spending this on a 5-year term for a renewable another 2? That kind of money.
Good afternoon, Jamie Morales, Public Works Director. Commissioner Linden, as you may know, we do not have the necessary equipment to maintain this type of turf. This is a specialized turf. Our equipment is more as a regular landscaping equipment, and we cannot combine such equipment in that field because we will cross-contaminate the field and we will create more weed issues, which will bring us further problems to the town. When the field was developed and the design was created for that park, everybody was with the understanding that or either we buy the equipment and we hire the appropriate personnel to maintain the field, or we had to go out for contracts.
What would it cost to buy the piece of equipment? We have more than qualified people on staff in Public Works to run a piece of equipment. What would it cost for us to buy this outright?
For the rail, right now the mower is, the last we assessed, it was like $60,000.
$60,000? Okay. Well, I would like to see this pulled and discuss the purchase of a piece of equipment, because over the 5-year span, it's $60,000 a year. That's $300,000. And I don't think that's a good use of our money, residents' money. Is this coming out of ad valorem, or is this coming out of CRA?
General fund. General fund, Commissioner.
General fund, all right. So the taxpayers will be paying $60,000, $5,000 a month to cut the grass, in essence, where we can buy a piece of equipment ourselves. Even if that person needs to be trained, that's a small piece of property.
Well, the current, we did an assessment. Our current workload and our current employees, if we add Burt Bostrom, will require us to hire additional employees. Nevertheless, we have identified such equipment in this coming budget. We do have it as a line item to discuss with the commissioners. In the meantime, we need to provide maintenance to the park. So within the language of the contract, we have the option, right, in the future to retrieve and cancel the contract, because we may not have any need because we were able to acquire the equipment. But right now, we don't have an equipment, we don't have the personnel, but we do need to provide the services to the field, to the park.
I'm sorry, town manager.
No. I just wanted to
Go ahead, town
jump in
manager.
real quick. So, Commissioner, one of the things that we are looking at in this upcoming budget, and Jamie's looking at it, is looking at all of our landscaping contracts. Not just this one, but the one on Park Avenue, the one at the marina, all of those. And we'll be bringing back an analysis on the cost benefit of bringing it back in, bringing these items in-house. But right now, to be able to manage and maintain, the field until we are able to do something, we have to have someone who has the knowledge and the experience and the equipment, because it's more than just the equipment. It is the knowledge and the experience of maintaining Bermuda-type grass. It's a different type of grass. It's specialized. It's sports turf. If we do start cross-contaminating, you have weeds and it becomes, dysfunctional and you have to tear out all the grass. It just becomes a real difficult issue. So if I can make a suggestion, if we can go forward with it, as Jamie said, it allows us to get through the budget process, give you guys the opportunity to discuss, because we have to do it no matter what. We have to mow the grass and we have to take care of it. And it allows us to then cancel the contract along with the others if it makes sense for us to bring people in-house, which with the amount of money that we're paying, I think that there's a good chance that Jamie's going to see some positive results with that. Of course, that includes purchasing all the equipment, but we've got to go through that full analysis to be able to do it. So,
And we spent quite a bit for that grass, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, sir.
So, Vice Mayor.
I have a question for the town manager. So if we go to the next budget session and we want to buy equipment, and we're thinking about, because I saw them yesterday on Park Avenue, and it's probably one of the best I've seen Park Avenue, trimmed up. Like, they were working, they were working pretty good. So what I don't want to happen, I know we do need that grass cut, man. I do understand Commissioner Linden, because if we can do it based for the future, like based on like Park Avenue, the Burt Brostrom, I don't want to council, they're doing a good job. If the equipment is costing too much and we can keep them, good. But if
Right,
not,
and I think that's what we have to look at is the cost, what is the total cost for us to do it? And we would have people that's what they would do every day. They would maintain those areas. And, right now we get a contractor in there for, whatever period of time they're there. If we bring them in-house, we have 40 hours a week for each of those people and in those different areas. But it all depends on what is the total cost, to bring it all in-house. But that's something that's just going to take a little bit of time for Jamie to go through, and we still have to mow the grass because the warranty of the company that put it in has expired, of maintaining it. So we're now in a position that we have to maintain the property.
Well, what I do like is that you put a provision in there for when we get to that point, we can disengage ourselves from this agreement and then go forward with our own in-house group. So,
And is it like a 30-day out or something like that?
Correct. You have to written
Yeah.
notice 30 days out.
I believe it's 60 days. We have to notice
Might be
60
a
days
60-day
before
notice.
It's a
yeah.
written notice. Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, Jamie, good evening.
Good evening.
I saw in the backup that they're, based on the images that were provided, that they're also providing maintenance throughout the CRA, right? Like on 10th, on Park Avenue?
Yes.
On
Yeah,
Bergstrom to the
those-
Centennial Park?
2 different contracts, but yes, they are.
Okay, so I have seen, 1 as a resident and 2 as a commissioner, the difference that is made when this particular company comes into town and maintain the medians, okay? I have seen a considerable difference. I have seen the dais before that stated, let's go away, and it cost us in re-landscaping, it cost us in manpower, and it was much more when we really looked at the costs. So my question would be, this is a 5-year contract just for Burt Brostrom, or, okay. Moving forward, and this is a thought, would be to combine those contracts and see if we could get a better cost for it. And the reason why I say that is, 1, we do not have the manpower. I've seen it. You have lost 4 employees already.
Yep.
Okay? 1, we don't have the equipment because I've seen on this dais, we've been using equipment that is outdated. We have programmed it, and we have stated, last week was, the last commission meeting that we had, we upended it by stating that let's look at electrical vehicle, and there's an infrastructure that's involved in that. And that wasn't considered. You just don't buy an electric vehicle and say, okay, fine. You have to put that infrastructure in. So that's a consideration. So with that in mind, I'm just asking that you look at what the combined cost would be with this particular contractor, and as we move forward with it, because I am one of those who have seen it as a resident and also as a commissioner, and I stand by the work that they have done, not just here in our town, but in all of Palm Beach County where they have municipal contracts.
Thank you. Town Manager, you have more to add?
I just had one more quick question, unless Jamie was going to mention it. So when we went out to bid on this, it was sometime around August of last year. And, you know, so we had multiple properties that we were looking to price under this contract or this competitive bidding. And I just wanted for the record to make sure that you guys were aware. We titled it as what's called an RFQ, or request for qualifications. However, it's really an RFP, a request for proposals. So it was mistitled when we went out. So I just wanted to make sure, and I've worked with the attorney on it, and Jamie, and it had all the functions and all the information of an RFP, but just wanted to make sure that you guys know this is not a CCNA issue, it's a maintenance contract. And so it was always treated as that when we went out for it originally. So I just wanted to make sure that was on the record.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Was that what it was? The first one. Commissioner O'Rourke?
I have nothing.
Okay. Commissioner Linden?
Has the
I have
grass,
no questions, that is.
Correct. I understand what you meant. I understood what you meant.
has the grass been cut since it's been put in?
Gotcha.
Yes, yes, it was maintained.
Who did that?
The contractor that installed the landfill, they were under warranty for the 6 months.
And that warranty's expired?
Yes, sir.
Have you looked into what it would cost us to bring him back monthly to do it?
More than what the current contract was proposed. I have the quote, and I could forward. Just don't have the figure right now in my head, but it was more than Chris.
And then we couldn't just use just that vendor for longer than a certain period of time, because our procurement requires us to go out for competitive bids when it gets to a certain threshold. So we would have to go back out to bid. We're piggybacking or utilizing the contract that we went off of last year. So they're giving us the prices from last year as well. If we were to go out right now, we suspect because of fuel prices that the numbers would be higher than what we're getting even now. And right now, if we do have to cut the grass, it would be under my threshold until we had this agreement or some sort of an agreement approved.
All set?
Well, the cost, I just think, is outrageous. We all get our grass cut here in Lake Park. And I understand specialty and all that, but at the same token, in my opinion, we're throwing money away that we don't have or need to acquire. So I'm opposed to this until we can get some things worked out. So wouldn't mind pulling this off the consent and bringing it back in another month or two.
If this was, I'm just asking the question, devil's advocate for Commissioner Linden's comments. If we pull this off, what happens to the grass?
So those that had the opportunity to assist this last weekend's event at the park, if you look at the field, you saw that we already have the growth of weeds. Weeds are popping up, and once they start spreading, to control that weed is going to be enormous. So the cost associated for somebody to come in and then take over the responsibility of maintaining the field would be greater than doing it right now. So if the commission, as a whole, has the interest to take that risk, I have no objection to follow your orders, and I will continue to gather and seek more information. Nevertheless, we have to understand that that's the risk that we're exposing ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that. I just wanted you to be able to explain that as an offset to his comments, just to understand cause and effect. Commissioner Linden has suggested we pull it from the agenda. By the looks of it, I don't see any.
I'm not in agreement with that. I am in agreement for us just to vote on it.
Okay, so with that, if there are no other questions,
Move to approve 430526 resolution.
okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Further discussion? I'm going to go
Yes.
right to Commissioner O'Rourke.
Yes. No offense to my fellow commissioners, but not commissioners, to my respectful colleague, Commissioner Linden. We have to stop nickel and diming things that should be priorities in our town. This is something that can bring youth sports to our town. It is my most important function that we should be doing with regard to our budget this year. I think that should be our top priority to do something about getting programs for our youth. And this is the first step of that. The idea of trying to come in and create companies that will be able to mow these specialized fields, it's not the way it works. Anybody that's been involved in youth sports understands these fields they're a really important place to have our community grow, because the growth that happens in our community happens from the children. And then it spreads to the parents of those children, brings a community closer together. The expense that we're paying for this, first of all, the company itself, Wayne's company, has done tremendous work in the past for our town. I agree with the Commissioner Thomas that when we stopped their contract because we thought it was too high, the downtown suffered because of that. This is a good company. They provided us good service in the past. This is very important that we pass this and that we move forward with this project.
Okay, and you know I share that same sentiment with you when it comes to children's sports. And I will encourage you, if you don't believe what this man is saying, go to Palm Beach Gardens, I believe, right across the street from my vice mayor's place of employment. There is a very large field there that shares a very big cost for that same type of grass. And I agree. I don't think right now we have the staff nor the equipment. I think going that route will require too many steps to be taken, especially if we don't have the staff and we don't have the budget for it, because we're now just getting into budget for it. It's too risky right now when we could just take this approach. It's a small risk with a high reward at the end of the day, and we'll plan things accordingly as we go through in the budget cycle to weigh out the pros and cons of going in-house versus contracting. And I agree with also the other commissioners as far as Park Avenue. This has been the greatest I've ever seen it in a while. So if we can talk to them as well as a possibility. So any other comments?
I was just going to say, I would piggyback off what the mayor said. That field across from my workplace, they do spend a lot of money, but because of that, they get these little soccer teams that come in the summer, and they make a lot of money because they invested. I'm talking about big teams.
And that soccer program is an 8-figure program.
Not only that, but it creates athletes that are high-level athletes. These are incredible young people that get involved in these programs. This is something we need in this town.
And believe it or not, some of those athletes are right from here. So, okay. If there are no other comments, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
The resolution passes 4-1. Next, we have ordinance on first reading, ordinance 05-2026, text amendment expanding the PADD permitted uses Chapter 78. Nadia, please begin.
Thank you. Good evening. Nadia DiTomaso, Community Development Director. As the Town Commission may recall, last year, Kimley Horn performed a study of the Park Avenue Downtown District, the PADD. There were several components included in that study. One of the components related to the use table in the downtown area, specifically as it relates to some of the uses currently being special exception uses as opposed to being permitted uses. As the Town Commission is also aware, the current downtown area is divided into two sub-districts, the outer sub-district and the core sub-district. In an attempt to promote more of a business-friendly environment, as well as address some of the other uses in the table, staff was asked to bring forward the component of the study that related to the use table. This is the nature of the agenda item this evening. As you will have noticed in the packet, there is a use table of a variety of different uses. The uses that are being proposed for amendment this evening are being proposed to be transitioned from a special exception use to a permitted use, with the idea of bringing forward more of a business-friendly strategy to attract more businesses, as well as provide more flexibility in some of the other uses that are listed in the table for modification. These uses range from restaurants to microbreweries. There are some residential uses in there as well, gymnasiums, parking lots, craft distilleries, hotels, train stations. All of these uses were already in existence in the table. And as the Town Commission may recall, the study that was accepted from Kimley Horn didn't propose to necessarily eliminate the uses, but bring them from special exception to permitted uses. So since staff was asked to bring forward that component, of course it is before you this evening for discussion. With this being said, even with the transition from, if it does get approved, even with the transition from special exception to permitted, this does not take away the public hearing process that would be required for any new use that is developed within a new development project or within a substantial redevelopment project in the downtown. Those proposals would still be subject to a full site plan review and public hearing process. The proposed ordinance was also presented to the Planning and Zoning Board on May 4th. There was substantial discussion at that meeting that ranged from including some additional backup information for the Town Commission in the agenda packet, which would include the entire Park Avenue Downtown District zoning district information as a reference tool, as well as specific discussion on some of the individual uses as to whether or not they should transition from special exception to permitted uses. In addition, there was discussion on what review process would take place for a permitted use versus a special exception use. So to just touch on that real quick, currently the special exception use does require a criteria review that is set forth in the town code. There's 6 criteria that an applicant would need to meet. It would be required to go through the Planning and Zoning Board and the Town Commission. A permitted use, for example, if a restaurant is in one of the sub-districts and is currently listed as a special exception use, if that were to transition to a permitted use, they would not be required to go through that public hearing process. So a restaurant, for example, we just went through the review for Culinarchy in the downtown. That particular use, had it not been listed as a special exception use, it would have still needed to go through the business tax receipt process, which is initiated with a zoning certificate. That zoning certificate application still reviews parking and other elements that are related to their particular use, hours of operation, interior configuration, exterior configuration. So all of those items would still be reviewed as part of that process, but eliminating the special exception eliminates the need for that particular restaurant, for example, to come before you for approval. And it would be a process that would be reviewed administratively. So I definitely wanted to make that distinction as you're looking at the uses to determine their appropriateness to transition from a special exception to a permitted use based on the recommendations that Kimley Horn made. The item was, of course, advertised as was needed. You know, a legal ad was placed in the Palm Beach Post. We recently, last week, also published a video just to, invite and inform the public a little further on this item. We are, of course, open to any questions and direction from the commission on this, and that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. I also want to commend you on the video that you did recently explaining this item very clearly and specifically, so that way it didn't get misconstrued with any other things of business that we have going on in the downtown that are of interest to the public. So I want to thank you for doing that. That was very insightful, and very happy for you and the rest of the staff that brought that out into light. I do have two
Could I make a comment?
Town manager.
Yes, just to dovetail, first of all, it was a great video. Actually, Nadia was the first video that we did starting this whole process, so she's getting good at it. I appreciate it. Did great the first time, too. I did want to just make one quick comment, dovetailing off of Nadia's presentation. Of course, as you're aware, we're subject to Senate Bill 180 right now. Senate Bill 180 requires the town and all towns and all local governments within the state that are within a certain area of a hurricane that we're not able to create any more restrictive codes. The reason why we're bringing this to you and not maybe the entire PADD report is because this, of course, is relaxing restrictions. It would not be more restrictive. It would actually be less restrictive for businesses to be able to come into our downtown area. So that's the reason why we're able to bring this now, and maybe some of the other items within the PADD report that we're not able to bring to you. Because if you were to go the opposite way, we would probably not be able to do this. So again, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. That thank you, Nadia.
You're welcome.
Okay, I will open the dais for questions. Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you.
And just for the record, I do have 2 public comment cards on this item.
Do they go after our question?
After.
Okay. Hi, Nadia. Nadia, the last week you were here when you heard Michael
Yes.
Aram
Yes.
comment about the 700 block. 700 block in the PADD is considered core. I mean, it's considered outer core, correct?
Outer, yes.
Why can't we modify that? That's where the problems are starting. Because what you're doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is a question. If we approve this, then anything in the outer core will be able to, as a permitted use, include craft distilleries, hotels, wineries, and other types of businesses like that. Is that correct?
Yes, there are certain uses for which those uses are currently permitted in the core
Right.
subdistrict and as special exception in the outer. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with the core, the way you've set that up. I think that's well thought out. But my question is really with regard to the outer core. And because we include the 700 block, which actually already includes a theater, which is probably the most historic part of our downtown, it's empty. And it has history to our town. But yet, it's part of the core. And to do that now, because it's been empty for a while, we would have to, unless we changed something there, it would have to change, we would have to change to a permitted use. But that would then allow anything to happen anywhere outside of on the outer core of the PADD. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
If the change were to take place, it would apply to the entire outer core subdistrict.
Including distilleries, craft distilleries, breweries, wineries, things like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do we really want those businesses in our neighborhoods? I know that's a rhetorical question, but
Right.
my point is, I know you're trying to help out that area of 700 because when they set up the PADD and when they set up height restrictions and things like that, they limited that to 4 stories, which is, I think, appropriate. I was one of the people that voted for that. So, but yet it's considered core. I see a businessman here that's in that district. He can't, unless you fix what's going on in the 700 block. That's where the special exceptions need to be moved to permitted uses. Isn't it correct that the restaurant you were talking about that came before us and had a very hard time opening because it was past 90 days that restaurant was closed, that they had to go through special exceptions, what made it much more difficult, correct?
Correct, the
So
Culinarchy.
I'm suggesting, is there any way that we can, instead of approving this for the entire PADD outer core, can we limit or add another section instead of outer core? We can call it the eastern core or something like that. Can we do that?
If that is a desire of the town commission, there is certainly an opportunity to add additional conditions, which we already have in place in the table for the use chart. If the desire is to only have a particular use apply to a certain block area in that sub-district, we'd have to kind of take that back, discuss it, figure out a way to make that work. But currently, that is not how it's structured.
I understand.
Yeah, the proposal that came to us was to transition the special exception to the permitted for the entire sub-district and not for an individual area within that sub-district. That we would have to discuss internally, and we would have to discuss with legal as well.
So the answer to the question is, if you want to do that, Commissioner, you'd have to bring back another ordinance. You couldn't adopt this one. You'd have to bring another one.
Okay. So that's the problem I'm having. When we name, and I wrote down these things as the ones you're going to convert from special exception to permitted use. And those things, again, I'll read them again: craft distilleries, hotels, wineries, theater, other things. I think there was also a dry cleaner thing there too. I remember, I'll give you another example of this. When we had a D&J cleaner, laundry, was restricted because it was out a certain area, so it had to get a special use exception. And that was because there was another laundry in that, within the area, which was now it needed a special exception use. We went beyond that and were able to do that. But I'm raising this because it seems to me that maybe we don't want wineries all over our outer core, you know what I mean? Maybe we want it in one area. Does that make sense to you, or does?
No, absolutely. And that's the reason why we're bringing it forward the way it was proposed through that process. But if there are additional changes that need to be made, we'd have to rework the ordinance based on the commission's desire.
Okay, so the last question I'm going to ask, since I think I've made my point, is that if we approve this, and then we decide, no, I don't want a winery near your house. I don't know, you may like wine, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not trying to pick on anybody, I'm just trying to make a point here. If you don't want wineries or breweries, evening entertainment areas, okay, around neighborhoods, all right, then we're not going to be able to come back because of what he just said, because we can't go more restrictive now once we approve this. Is that correct?
If this moves forward and then you'd want to go back from permitted to special exception, I think that's a decision that you would need to make before you approve anything.
Thank you for agreeing with the point I just made.
Yeah.
Or at least acknowledging the point I made. I didn't. Thank you. Nothing further.
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Thomas.
Good evening. Nadia, it's not so much that I have a question. I think it's a couple of issues.
Statements, yeah.
And really very congruent to what you're saying, but more on a broader base. We're under the provision of SB 180. We had issues with the ZIP. We have issues with the fact that we have the Kimley Horn, that we have taken segments of it and tried to incorporate here. And then we also have the issue of, I believe, a pending litigation. And so therefore, I feel that if we were to move forward with this ordinance, because there are parts of it that are so interrelated with other things, that we're putting ourselves in a position for further litigation.
Okay.
Okay? One of the things that I see myself, or as I look at this on a professional level, that if we are looking at a particular business and to try to expedite them through this, they really would have only had 2 hearings, 1 before the P&Z and 2 before us. With this, they had the P&Z and they have 2 readings, which of course, a lot of things could happen. And then we have opened up the land development regulations for something that's more broader. And so I feel that if we're dealing with a particular business, for this reason, that business should probably go through the special exception, because we're relating and there are criteria that are in place that were set up for that reason. And then there's that safeguard that's there because it wouldn't take them any more time than what we're going through right now. That special exception would have come to us tonight as in whether it was a move up or a move down, as opposed to where we are right now, where it's a review for an ordinance, and then they have to come back or maybe not even accept this, and then we're in an extended, situation. I do hear the businesses, but I'm a true believer of, if we're going to do something, let's do it properly the first time. Then we don't have to be in a position of litigation and delay. And I say that with all due respect, because I know where we are right now and things needs to be moving, but we are truly tied. And I'm very, very concerned about how this is going to impact us with what we know that's out there. So it's more of a statement than it is of a question.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you understand what I mean by that.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Linden.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Because of House Bill 180, I don't think we should make any changes at this point. We know that it's been changed. It's gone up to Tallahassee, and it got kicked back, all right, from other municipalities. So bottom line is, I'd stay the course where we're at, because at that point, we have no issues.
Vice Mayor.
Well, Mr. Mayor, these 3 stole my material, so I'm trying to hear the people and vote. I'm right along with them. Every single word, every single step. I don't think we should move forward with something that's going to make it more restricted. And if we didn't like something, we can't go back. We talk about not approving the Kimley Horn and not bringing it forth because Senate Bill 180, but then we bring stuff back, half of it back. I just don't think it's proper. So
Why don't we just pull this item?
Yeah. And just to summarize that, this is a component of the Kimley Horn study that we were asked to bring forward, but I understand the commission's concerns, so we're going to go ahead and not move this along.
Before we end it, I still have public comment cards I want to hear. And
Sure.
Before you go to public comment, can I make one more suggestion if we're going to look for that direction?
very quick one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do, if you look at this, the There are things in the core district that they've changed, such as allowing townhouses, duplexes, single-family. I don't know why that would be
Yeah, I don't know.
live, work, those things. I don't see why we can't approve those. I don't get that. Hotel, I don't know. But I'm just asking you to consider that, and maybe you can, if you come back with this, you can do different proposals for those things that would be okay in the core, maybe not so okay in the outer core. That's all my suggestion is, and is also a suggestion to try to create another district for Block 700. That's my.
And maybe we can bring this back as a workshopping item, right?
Yeah.
To kind of have some additional discussion.
That would be good, because I'm sure you will have
Yes.
plenty of attendance.
And
for
that would be helpful for everyone involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to call up these two comment cards. Mary Taylor, please come up. And before you go up, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Kevin Kajanka, we already did the public comment for non-agenda items, so unless my commission has no problems bringing, okay. Hold, please. Okay.
Yeah,
Ms. Taylor.
Mary Taylor again at 209 Park Avenue. And I could almost save my breath because I agree with all of you, but since I took the time to do it, I'm going to tell you. Okay. This evening's agenda is a little puzzling to me. I'm referring to the permitted and special exception uses Park Avenue downtown district. It seems prudent to retain all the special exception designations requiring the town commission approval as a way to scrutinize decisions based on real-time information instead of on previous outdated decisions. The example like issues of parking structures, public and private indoor entertainment theaters. Why change them to permitted and not bring these and other pertinent issues before the commission during public meetings? The comprehensive list is good, but why make changes that can be questioned later? I'm sure much thought was given when the special exception designation was initially approved. But I understand now why it was brought up, because it was brought up by the Kimley Horn thing. So that answered one of my questions, why was it brought up? So anyway, I can't think fast enough to take my other minute and a half, so I'm going to give everybody a break. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Susan LaFontaine.
Hello again, Susan LaFontaine, 545 Evergreen Drive. The staff report for this agenda item on tonight's and on the last planning and zoning meeting agenda says, quote, "The proposed ordinance was prepared by the Community Development Department pursuant to Kimley Horn study and Town Commission recommendations and has been reviewed by the department, the CRA, the town manager, and town attorney." And my question was, when did the town commission make these recommendations? Obviously, they're just coming to you guys tonight for the first time. So I'm like, why did the community development say you guys had recommended it? And thank you, I agree with what you're saying. It's like, put it off till later. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so for the record, we are pulling this item off, and we will move forward. Okay, next we have two items on ordinance on second reading. First is item number 4, ordinance 04-2026, a text amendment allowing domesticated animals in Kelsey Park and other parks.
I know this is on an ordinance reading. We approved the regular commission meeting agenda item as an agenda item. We approved the minutes. In those minutes, this commission asked why we are prohibiting smoking in our parks, and why is that part of this ordinance? And it came back. What?
Yeah, you removed it. They removed it. Yeah, that was removed.
You know, I should not go on the computer anymore because that's where I get all this stuff.
It's all right, that's why we're a team, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
No, I also have another, but this is an ordinance, so we're going to have to go through the process, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
So real quickly,
Yes, it is.
as mentioned, the ordinance has been amended as requested by the commission. This is being presented on second and final reading. It was approved on first reading during your last meeting, and so the attorney has the ordinance.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas, you had your hand raised.
Well, you had to make a motion.
Oh, I thought you had a question. I
have a question.
apologize.
I thought we couldn't discuss it until you made a motion.
No. If there are any questions, you may ask so now. If there are not any questions, then we
forever
can make a
hold your peace
motion
to
and
that.
a second, and then discussion. So if it's discussion, please make a motion. If it's
I have
not
a
discussion, you have questions, Commissioner
I do.
O'Rourke.
Yes. The other item that I was concerned with is, why do we have to include domestic animals? I know everybody wants to say, my pet potbelly pig is very tamed and would be lovely walking through Kelsey Park. I think if you want a potbelly pig walking through Kelsey Park, I think maybe you should try to get approval from the town for that. I don't know. There's other items, and I don't know whether this is the law, whether there's some statute or some case law that says we have to include. So my question with regard to when we define, and I asked the definition of domesticated animal, is a boa constrictor, for example, a domesticated animal. It's kept in homes, and apparently people think that's domesticated.
Correct.
So if I put it on a leash, is it okay to bring my boa constrictor to Kelsey Park?
That's not on the list. However,
My dog would kill it, man.
However, domesticated household pet or domesticated animal includes dogs, cats, parrots, parakeets, canaries, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, gerbils, fish, turtles, and other animals that can be legally sold in a licensed pet shop in the state of Florida, and which are kept as pets for the purpose of providing human companionship.
So that's specifically defined in the ordinance.
This is in the town code.
What was that, Tom?
Take your goldfish.
Take your
And they've
gold-
all.
Does that include
and they have
goldfish? Does it?
all-
I mean,
and they
you
have
know, you can
all
go-
always been allowed at the marina.
So if you wish to take your goldfish, put them on a wagon, you can walk them through the park.
Hey, I just saw someone walking their cat the other day, so, that's a domestic thing, yeah. I understand that. Those are what we look at normally as things, and I don't mean to try to be restrictive about this to people that have these so-called domesticated animals. I'm the one that asked to have this ordinance brought. And I just simply wanted to walk my dog in Kelsey Park. And now I have to think about whether it's okay for the potbelly pigs or the boa constrictors. I don't think so. I don't know. Do we have to have that definition? Or can we just say dogs and cats are allowed? That's a simple approach to me.
That would be a completely separate ordinance that we would have to, because we have domesticated animals referenced in other sections of our code. So to change the definition, we then need to look at the applicability of that new definition to the other sections as well.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stay off the domesticated. I have another question that I need to address. This ordinance does not include issues like the animals must be on a leash.
So that is actually in the definition in the town code already, where they must be
Okay.
on a leash.
Okay, I think it belongs in this ordinance because there should be penalties that are associated with that. I'm a dog owner. I also would include cleaning up after your animal. That should be included in this ordinance too. I'm a dog owner. I don't want to say how proud I am to pick up after my dog because it's not a pride thing, but it's part of owning the animal and being a neighbor, And so I'm not sure this ordinance is ready for prime time, that's all. Thank you.
If there are no other questions.
I have a question.
You have a question?
I do.
Okay, Commissioner Thomas.
My question is, why did we not include other parks? I did see, for, when I say other parks, for disposable items or doggy bags, because my park, there's a lot of dogs that go in there. And if we start right now, we've had like no dogs allowed. And I was the person that came and asked not have no dogs allowed, but that we provide, and that was about 10 years ago, that we provide receptacles for them and also bags. I'm concerned that since Kelsey Park was the only park that was really called out to have the bags, that my park will be full of dog poop. Because I do regulate my park.
And the cost breakdowns that were provided by Public Works did anticipate installing them in Kelsey Park for now, putting signage in the other pocket parks in advance of course, us reviewing next fiscal year's budget so that we could incorporate the necessary funds to include those cleanup stations as well in the pocket parks. That was the thought process when that was discussed internally.
Don't we have donors that can maybe, sponsor, I've seen those before where they can actually sponsor the, the dog bags and things of that nature. We should have that. Normally, that's a community item that we've seen a lot of.
Yeah, we can't.
Where they do that.
We can't have this get approved and then only.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jamie Morales again for Public Works. Due to your request, Commissioner, we have contemplated and analyzed the implementation of such in the remaining parks, and we're now getting the cost assessment, and we're going to proceed once this has been approved.
Yeah, because I look at my park and they look at me really funny when I tell them to go pick it up. And they're like, well, they don't have a bag. I run in my house and I give them a bag. I just think it's a neighborly thing, and we do have pride. No, but we should have pride because it's pride that really sustains a community and make a community look well. And I have to teach my students that every day, that not because you didn't put it down don't mean that you need, you can't pick it up. That's called pride in your community. And so that's all I'm saying.
Vice Mayor.
Just laughing because she will make you go pick it up. Remember the guy that came in my yard? He's like, you need to pick that up.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve wait.
The first one and second.
Yeah, but this would mean that my park will not be considered to have a bag.
No, what I'm hearing is the funds are available to install them in the pocket parks as well.
Because that really means a lot to me. I need to make sure that there's a bag stand.
That's what Jamie just indicated.
That's correct.
Okay, so it is going to have a bag because it only says that in this ordinance. And if I do, that means it's adopted with that.
Jamie already indicated that on his side, they're looking into that, getting cost analysis, and we'll look to put that in.
Okay, so will we be putting that as part of the ordinance? Because in the ordinance, it specifically says, that other parks will be considered. So could we just say that, make the amendment and just say that parks will have it, and we could think about when it's going to be programmed, but this right now says that it's just being considered.
Go ahead and just make that part of your motion.
So operationally, we will make sure that that's completed.
You don't need to put it in the ordinance. That's an operational issue that staff will take care of.
Yes, and it's already for the record.
Ordinance is just the main
The
stating
main,
that you're.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Then I was wrong on that too, sorry.
so, motion?
A motion to approve ordinance 0426, allowing domesticated animals in Kelsey Park and other town parks.
I'll second that.
We have first and a second. Any other further discussion up here on the dais? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ordinance passes unanimously. Town Attorney?
Ordinance 4, 2026, an ordinance of the Town Commission of Town of Lake Park, Florida pertaining to the use of town parks and public facilities, providing for the amendment of Section 1862-1 to allow domesticated animals in Kelsey Park and other town parks, providing for the creation of Section 1862M to prohibit smoking and vaping in town parks, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for the repeal of all laws in conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Town Attorney.
I thought you just said that we took the smoking out.
Yes, the advertisement was correct. The agenda was incorrect. So when I copied and pasted the language, I copied and pasted the wrong one. The advertisement that was placed in the newspaper for this ordinance is correct without that language.
Is it in or out?
Yeah.
It's out. It's out. Vaping is, or smoking.
When it
and
comes back on
that
second
language,
reading.
This is the second reading. Right, and we have removed it. I copied and pasted the wrong language. The advertisement that is for this item is correct, without the language of the smoking in the parks.
And the town attorney just read the smoking part of it.
Correct.
Do we just approve
But
smoking
just
or not?
that the record is clear, the public advertisement does not include smoking and vaping, and so that's not in the ordinance. I can read it again without it if you think that's
Just for the
better
record, Town
approach.
Attorney,
It says it.
it says in the actual ordinance.
Yeah.
I understand, but what was presented to me, and I think what Commissioner O'Rourke are saying, well,
I'm just trying to clarify. I just.
No,
clarify that.
we got it.
No, the title in the agenda, Commissioner Rourke, does not have that in there. Does not have the language in there, because I was looking myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Item 4, page 193.
Okay. Moving forward. Ordinance 06-2026, text amendment on plating procedures per state law, Chapter 67, Town Lake Park Land Development Regulations, second reading. Town Manager.
This is on second. We'll just approve. Go.
This was provided to you on first reading during your last meeting. You approved it, and it's being presented for second and final reading, and the attorney has the ordinance.
Okay.
I move to approve ordinance 06-2026.
Second.
We have first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ordinance passes unanimously. Town Attorney?
Ordinance 6, 2026, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Lake Park, Florida, amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 67, Article 1 and Article 2 to comply with Senate Bill 784 regarding administrative plat approvals, providing for codification, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you for that. Again, now we're on new business. Again, for the record, item number 6 has been removed from the agenda. So we are going to move on to item number 7, FY 2026, Town of Lake Park pay grade chart and amend pay grades to Sanitation Truck Operator 1 and Sanitation Truck Operator 2. Town Manager.
Yes, and as provided in your agenda, there are 2 positions that we're coming to you on and requesting that we move the position from the current pay grade to a proposed pay grade. And both of these positions are positions where we have a lot of turnover, and some of the feedback that we get when folks are leaving is the salary.
Yeah.
It's also a little difficult to find the folks up front who are looking for these types of positions, maybe to come out of the private sector, to come back into the public sector. They're getting paid a little differently. So we're requesting that we raise those base pay, the base pay, actually change it from one pay grade to another, which means it wouldn't just be the base pay, but the entire pay grade would change. So we only have a couple positions that this would affect that are in-house right now. So there would be an increase to them. But basically, it's for the positions that are vacant, that allows us to be more marketable and bring in folks. Of course, sanitation is critical for our community, and we want to make sure that we're able to keep people, and this is the one area that we've really struggled. So we think that this can be helpful. It'll put us in a better position market-wise, not only with the private sector companies, but any other public, organizations that maintain garbage services. So this has been reviewed by Mr. Morales as well as our HR manager, and we think that this is a good move for us going forward and will help us.
Okay. So again, this affects 2 positions as well as a little bump up for a small bump up.
If someone is on staff now and they're below the base, they'll get brought up to the minimum. And anyone that's here already,
Correct.
that's already well above, they'll have a higher earning potential on the back end.
Gotcha.
Because the pay grade will have been expanded for them.
Okay, thank you for that clarity.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Commissioner? Okay, Commissioner Linden.
Thank you. We've been down this road before, and it bothers me a little bit. First of all, I think a lot of the public works employees are way underpaid. So I'm not arguing the point there, not at all. What I'm concerned about, there's a $5,000 difference from their current pay grade per person to the next pay grade. Right? And I have trouble supporting a raise mid-year when we've got 6 months to go before the new budget. So, again, I'm all for the pay grade. The implementation of it bothers me. I do not want to do it now. I'd rather wait until the anniversary or when we actually do the budget.
It's definitely something of a concern when there's a mid-year request. And in fact, we've had that recently. And we've said, there's not that option to do it. By doing it this way, it allows us to then say to people that are applying that we want you here. I can't agree with you more about mid-year individual pay bumps like that. But we do have a number of open positions for our 2s and our 1s. And it's just one of the things that the department has mentioned and they're seeing is that we're getting employees saying yes, or candidates to say yes to us just until they find another job that's going to pay them more. And that's disconcerting to me as a manager, because what Jamie and his staff are doing are training people to be prepared to take another position that's going to pay them more. And we have to kind of combat that. We have to deal with it. It's something that this is a separate fund, of course. The funding is there. It allows us to do it different than the general fund. And what I'm concerned about is Jamie then has to come to me and say, well, I don't have the staff, I have to have overtime, and now we're paying well above the $25 an hour for the 2s than what we would be able to, than what we would have to pay. So those are the concerns that I have and why I support going forward with this, because we've just, in this department, we've had 10 positions that we hired and have turned within 6 months. We've done an excellent job at bringing people in this year. And I sat in the audience when you guys had that struggle, and I remember, Ms. Taylor, talking about it, and we talked about it quite often. And we made a lot of improvements in our hiring process, and we hired, and we're hiring. But the problem is now we're seeing that we're not able to keep them. In fact, there was a person that we hired. The person did really well within their probationary period, which in our, it's not a normal thing, we promoted that person. Jamie, it was, what, within a couple weeks, they were gone after we promoted them. And we're seeing that happen, too much. And we've got to do something that's going to allow us to keep folks. I will tell you, during this upcoming budget, Barbara and Debbie are already looking at it, about doing a salary study. You guys talked about it in the last budget year. I think it's critical that we look at that. We are looking at where we are on the COLA and the merit. I think we have to look at that, especially where we only did merit this year. And everyone understood that. With gas prices and things the way they are, you're seeing these other communities that are adjusting. In fact, I sat with the managers in the North End the other day, and there was a union contract that was approved that the base position salary was bumped 22% for the position that was being negotiated. So it's always trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're never going to be at the top end, but we want to be somewhere in the middle that we can, pay people comfortably. They can live. And right now, and I had a conversation with Commissioner Thomas. We had a conversation about it today, and I mean, it's, we were at the BDB meeting. The average price of a home is over $650,000 in this county. There are more millionaires and billionaires in this county than anywhere else right now. The price of gas, diesel is almost $6 a gallon. Everything is and we're talking about, positions that even at $25 an hour, I wouldn't be surprised that our new, or some of the apartment complexes around here are $3,500 a month, for a 2 and 3 bedroom. $25 an hour still doesn't cover that. And so, if that allows us to be competitive, we have the funding for the remainder of this budget year, and we can provide the services at the highest level and bring in really good, competent drivers. Because again, if we bring in people, it's not even just that we're bringing in people. We hit something, we have an accident. We're looking at more than just, other things, political issues. We're dealing with insurance issues, general liability, and we've had a number of those as well. And so, to bring in the most experience that we can, as your manager, I think it's the right thing to do. And so I understand your concerns, though. I absolutely do, and I share your mid-year bumps like that.
Okay.
That created numerous problems for us last time it happened. And I won't even get into the number, but it was astronomical. My concern here is, are both positions currently filled?
No.
So both positions are open.
I think, and Jamie and Barbara, I think in the 2s we have 3 total positions. No, but total positions.
Oh, yes.
We have 3 total positions, and we have 1 vacancy, right?
Yes.
In the 1s, we have, is it 3 or 2?
2 vacant.
And 3 total positions.
4.
4, sorry. So we have 3 vacancies, and these have been flipping.
Okay. Question. Are you all set, Commissioner?
Yeah,
I want
thank
to give
you.
the other commissioners
Thanks,
time to
Jamie.
question. Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you. Rich, I'm going to ask you this question. The pay of these positions, is that paid through the sanitation
Yes.
fund? So our sanitation fund is fully funded right now for that purpose?
The additional costs would be funded and it's available in that fund.
Okay. Next question is there a way to put a provision, and I know this is a collective bargaining agreement also, but is there a way to use as an incentive a time-based bonus for people that work over a certain period of time, and if you don't complete that period, then you don't get the bonus?
Well, we do have longevity now, so we have that in our with our employees and in our personal policies now. One of the things that we are looking at, and in other places that I've worked, is that you hire at a certain rate, but until they get past their probation, like you hold maybe 2% back. And then when they get past their probation, then you give them that 2%. So there are different ways to kind of do that. But we think straight salary is what people are really looking for. It's what's my number.
I would agree with, if you're going to do it that way, if you're going to hold back the salary level. I mean, first, I think all of the people in our sanitation, our public works department, this is a group of people, going back before any of you were sitting here, that actually took pay cuts so this town could survive during a really difficult time period under town manager Maria Davis. Yes, Maria Davis's time. And they sacrificed dollars, actual dollars. I think they're sacrificing right now with the loss of COLA. But this is a group that has served our town. They're our most, from my perspective, one of our most important group of employees in our town. And I've never heard anybody say anything but good things about our sanitation, public works employees. So if there's some way we can do that, I think maybe through bonuses, maybe through an incentive in that regard, that may be a way to do it. So anyway, thank you.
Commissioner Thomas.
I did the numbers, and on an hourly basis, we're talking about $21 an hour on one, and another one, we're talking about $24 an hour. This is Palm Beach County. No, I'm going to be very, very realistic on this. That's $788 a week times 2. They cannot rent a place to live. And so I'm going to say, I'm not even happy, nor would I even agree to this level. At a minimum, we need to give these people at least $25 an hour for them to just live. I hear us saying up here, we're in the middle of, our budget because we'll be starting budget in September. But I truly want us, if we're going to say that we care about our employees, give them something to live on. They have nothing to live on. So if they can't meet their rent, where they're going to live, and God knows they can't meet the gas, so how are they going to come to work? So this is more of a statement of, I feel that we can do better than this. This is me living in Palm Beach County, that we could do better than this. And if they're living outside of Palm Beach County, which a few of them are, that's even more. That means they have to commute to work. So they're spending whatever little raises that they will be getting in the gas to get here. This isn't right. And we could do better, and we need to do better. One thing I am well aware of, and that is the majority of our employees have been here for more than 5 years. And if we're losing people that are coming, it's, yes, they are looking for someplace else where they can afford to live. And so my disappointment here would be that the grade isn't high enough for them. And I would be in agreement to having this be included in our upcoming budget. But if we have, Jamie, if you don't mind, and please correct me if I'm wrong, someone had in fact come in with the job and said okay and quit the next day because they quit for $2 more than what they were going to be getting here. And we were held hostage because we couldn't offer them even the 10% above what was there. Am I incorrect by saying that?
You're correct. You're correct.
Okay. We have our sanitation workers and public workers working at $18, $17 an hour, and they're handling heavy equipment. And I say that because I looked, my debris didn't get picked up on the day that it was supposed to be picked up. Why? We don't have anybody there in order to pick it up, or they have to jump from one portion of where they are to go and supplement for the other section, sanitation to stormwater or vice versa. And then we don't have the vehicles. So, no, I'm very stunned by the prices, but I live and work here in Palm Beach County, and I see the prices every day. And so if we're going to do that as a small community, whatever we get, we get. Because even up here, we don't get paid more than a stipend, and it's truly that. It is a stipend. But thank goodness we have other jobs. But we need to do better. And so that's just a statement. Manager, I want us to come back with something much better than this, because I'm not pleased with this either, because we're at 21, and we should be looking at it across, and that's $788. Minus your tax, that's $650.
Commissioner Linden.
I don't think there's any objection at all that they shouldn't get more money. It's how we do it. We're going to set a precedent, and this could come back on a snowball effect. We've got 2 positions now. What's to say tomorrow or the day after we're not threatened with 2 or 3 positions that they want more money like we did to sanitation 1 or 2. So I agree with Commissioner O'Rourke. Let's get a process to give them the raise, but we just can't hand them the money tomorrow. All right? They have to work up to that until October, to where, like Judith said, Commissioner, that we could sit down and figure out how much more we can give them. I'm one of the first to say they're underpaid. They've been underpaid for years, okay? But doing it this way is only, I feel, going to create bigger headaches for us.
So, Commissioner, if you allow me to clarify, this is not to increase nobody's salary right now. This is just to allow us the opportunity to be able to hire people for these positions and be able to retain them. Now, we do have 2 employees that will be benefited from the process, but that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is that we've been hiring people or candidates or employees, but we can't retain them enough time because of the salary level that they come in. So the cost of living, the last employee that I had, I interviewed him before he left, and he said, I love working with the team, I love the organization, but I just can't afford to feed my family. So I got a better opportunity in salaries.
And you know, again, the way we're looking at it, Commissioner, is if we lose those 2 because they're below, now we're 5 positions out, and it becomes worse. So it's, what do we do? And so completely understand, you know, the concerns, but you know, we're kind of stuck. And at the end of the day, if those folks left and they reapplied and we did this, for new employees, they would get it anyway. They would get that higher number anyway. And what we don't want is for them to leave. You know, not that we want anyone to leave, but, you know, this is just one of those tough positions right now that we're struggling with to keep folks in. We have some really great folks that are in there that are sticking with us, but they're at a number that's much higher. They've been here for time, and so their number's significantly higher than the base. So and they won't be affected by this in that they're going to get an increase. It's only the ones that are below the minimum will get brought up to the minimum.
Again, I don't think you're going to get an argument from anybody on this dais. All right? It's the fact of how we do it. Could we take I don't know, if I'm hired tomorrow at $5,000 more, and that's what the number is, than the person I'm working with, now that person, they're going to be upset, no doubt about it.
No question.
All right? And where's my money? So I think collectively, you got a lot of good people up here that can brainstorm. How can we distribute that money in a manner that won't affect new hires up to October?
I'm handcuffed in a lot of ways in being able to do some things that I might be able to do maybe in other locations I've worked. Our personnel policies are very, very limited in what I can and can't do as the manager operationally and being able to give people increases and do certain things. This is really the fairest way for us to address this issue. I can tell you right now, I have an employee, Jamie has an employee who is looking for an equal number to what some other folks have come in at because of their experience. And there's a concern. He hasn't said it.
But the temperature's there.
It's there.
But it's and frankly, some of these folks can go to the local fast food place, to Walmart, and make more. You know, I think where it's been beneficial for us is you guys have done really, really great with the pension and with the benefits with the health insurance over the last, and of course, that has really, really made a difference. But I'd be concerned that we're going to be able to fill the positions consistent and maintain a level of consistent service level if we don't keep people. But I understand completely what you're saying. I really, really do. In fact, that was the comment about a mid-year increase that was said to the young man that was asking, and this is the fairest way for us to address it. So it doesn't come off that it's for a single person, it's for the entire position group.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's two individuals that would be impacted.
Yes,
Right?
Yes, two.
Right, it's just two that would actually be, that's currently there.
Yes.
That would be impacted.
Yes.
Right, okay, and then, please correct me, we would have to bring this before the collective bargaining unit anyway, wouldn't we?
Not on this issue.
Not on this particular issue?
No.
Because we would tell them.
Yeah.
But
We
they're
would-
not going to say no.
True.
No,
And the-
don't give them
and
money.
the,
And they're already, this is probably more of a manager benefit or
Yeah.
management right, so I probably wouldn't need to.
so I was going to say, if we don't do this, then we are at risk to lose two. I do know that. No, I'm not.
At least one I know about.
I'm saying, okay, we are at risk to lose two because they're being heavily recruited. So then the other issue that I like to mention is that if memory serves me correctly, we waited 18 months to 2 years for CDL drivers.
Pretty much.
That sign was up there for a good year, waiting for a CDL, right?
No, it came down, but it fell, it broke, so
Because we weren't getting anywhere with it. Yeah, so for the CDL licenses, and it's expensive too, because we, as the town, are asking for that particular license when they start.
There's a certain level of professionalism,
but we're asking for because these are truck drivers. I mean, I shouldn't say truck drivers, I'm so sorry. I mean,
Heavy
heavy
equipment
equipment, operators, right? So they have to have a CDL license, and we're not paying for that CDL license. So we expect them to come in with that. And so they're making an investment in themselves anyway that's rather large, in a sense, for them to come in. And then we're saying, okay, now you're really not getting compensated for what we're asking you to come in with. So, see ya, I love you, yeah, but I need to live. So I just want to make sure, because I do recall us having to wait about 18 months to get one.
It's plain and simple. The other cities are thinking the same thing that we're thinking right now. They're making their adjustments. Do we want to be behind the 8 ball, or do we want to stay with the Joneses? Everybody that comes here is going to apply here, and they're going to be having our application in one hand and a job listing on another to see what numbers supersede the number that we're offering. We have to be competitive. No ifs, ands, or buts. This department as a whole needs to be competitive. You need a full roster, not a patchwork of one day I'm here and 2 days you lose 2 people in an instant because another municipality, and even it's happening in the county level, I know they're doing the exact same thing. We have to be competitive, and sometimes you got to make this move now and still think about later, just to retain. So
We have the funding.
We have the funding.
make sure you say it on the mic.
We have the funding.
Yes, in our sanitation fund. And
What'd you say?
And Mr. Mayor, when we go through our strategic planning process, we'll have this conversation, I would imagine, as well, as one of our key priorities. Yeah, I mean,
It's here.
as your manager, we need to make that a focus of everything that we do, that we bring in the best and brightest, and to do that, we're going to have to be willing to pay them to come in.
All right, I don't think we need to beat this down much longer.
I don't hear any more questions, so I'm going to make a motion.
Yes, please.
I move to approve fiscal year 2026 Town of Lake Park pay grade chart amendments for grades for 2 positions.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And I apologize, Vice Mayor, I didn't look to you for any questions.
No, I'm a little.
But
Do you have questions? Because we can discuss, because I wanted to
But you
say
have,
something
but
else
we
too.
have discussion
Yeah.
amongst here.
Second.
Okay, we are at first and second for discussion. Vice Mayor.
I don't have a discussion. We don't get to see everything. I think one of you guys made the point about pay and people leaving, and I'm just thinking, like, we just went through this process with teachers in my other life, and I'm looking at our sanitation truck drivers, and they can come work at a school and make more money doing less.
Yep.
And how? And well, yeah. Certain positions, and here we go. We want to. I know with Lake Park, I keep saying this. We're little. We're a small town. I get it. We are a small town. I know. I've been here 20 plus years, but someday we gotta stop. We gotta make a punch. And to get good people, sometimes you got to pay good people. All right. We don't want to overpay anybody, but this is unacceptable. I mean, people are not going to be able to live. I'm a teacher, and I can barely live. So, I mean, this. I mean, we got to try to do something better. I don't know like Commissioner Linda said. I don't know how we get there. We can get there by voting to prove this for now, but we got to come up with a really strategic plan to get this thing going.
I'll leave it like this. For anybody that goes to Buc-ee's, they leave their sign up there with all the pay scale of every position there. Take a snapshot, come back, look at our budget, and then come see me and tell me what you think. Commissioner O'Rourke.
A comment, I just wanted to mention this, that we at one time discussed affordable housing. I don't know why we don't consider tying affordable housing into our sanitation and public works department to give incentive, again, another incentive to be part of our town. These are the types of things that are
Yeah, we did talk about
that are things that we can use. Those are tools that we can use. What we can't do, what we have and creates this problem is that we're stuck within the sanitation fee, the enterprise part of our budget that deals with sanitation, public works, stormwater, all of those, even marina, all of these are enterprise accounts, and that creates a problem. What we need to look at is there a way to try to bring in funds somewhere else? Affordable housing might be one way to create more incentives, but then again, with that, you would need some type of development that would agree to that type of partnership. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I was going to say that was a discussion that was had about using that as a benefit, and tying it to if they were to how would you say, get a down payment grant, say of $5,000, that meant that they had to stay with the town at least for 2 years for the down payment, grant. But at the end of the day, I'm still living in the house and I can't afford the house. You know what I mean? So I just want to be clear about this. I want to say I'm going to vote yes for this, but I'm going to let you know on record that we need to do something better than this. Okay, this is to get if you have those individuals ready to go. But I want you to know that this was a conversation that I had with the manager for us to raise the increases for our enterprise zone individual, employees. I shouldn't say individual, employees, overall. And when we look at it, is maybe 4, throughout. But those, they need to at least get a living wage. They need to be able to live and eat.
Okay. If there are no other further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Okay, that's all our.
That was a
agenda.
long discussion for a unanimous vote.
Before we go further to town attorney and town manager comment, I did have one more public comment card.
Yes.
I'm going to allow him to go ahead and come up and speak up. I did get consensus from the dais to do so. So, Mr. Kajanka, please come up. Of course, you have 3 minutes. And then we'll go to town attorney comments.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, dais and residents. I'd like to raise 2 topics for tonight.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My name's Kevin Kianka. Live over on Ilex. I'd like to raise 2 topics tonight for consideration. Sorry. Multimodal mobility in the town and sustainable materials management, better known as sanitation. So since the last commission meeting, I did see an accident at North Lake and Jasmine. Somebody going east on North Lake T-boned and overturned a car pulling out onto Jasmine. It was rough to see. And just looking at the town's North Lake boundary as a whole, I do have some concerns. So like the 3 westbound lanes on North Lake coming from US 1 is a placed, it's kind of a raceway. The 40-mile-per-hour speed limit is just like kind of a suggestion. It does allow for a greater speed based on the roadway design, given lane size and clear line of sight. Okay. So something similar with US 1. I was coming northbound on US 1, and I did cross Silver Beach. And, from the port to Silver Beach, it's a nice design road from those areas. But once you cross Silver Beach, it really opens up into a runway of sorts, especially when you see the sun setting and such. So the trees in front of Nautilus, thankfully they're there. Hopefully can grow a bit faster. Hopefully when the marina is built up further, that US 1 is right-sized for our town. This includes dedicated bike infrastructure, shaded bus shelters with recycling and trash bins next to them. Think like the Palm Beach Gardens bus shelter in front of Costco on North Lake, the green one. So also there could be a curb bump out at Kelsey Park at the Park Avenue crossing to reduce crossing times. For instance, there's no left turn lane heading south on US 1. So that could give an opportunity to kind of squeeze in that area to slow down traffic, allow pedestrians to cross better. I know when we had our sunset celebration, people park over there, but not many people park over there. So going to the sanitation issue, I did want to raise that 2 companies in the U.S. control collection and hauling soil and disposal. So I'm really glad that our town has its own sanitation funding. I do think that we can do our part as well by reducing the amount of trash that we generate to reduce the amount of pickups as well as trips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Town attorney comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to ask for an attorney-client meeting at your June 3rd meeting regarding forest development versus the town. And my suggestion would be to start that, to hold that as a special meeting and start it either at 5:30 or 6 o'clock so that you can get through your agenda, the rest of your agenda by 11 o'clock.
I'm good either way. But I'm only one.
Okay, so
I'm good, but I'd like to make it 5:30 because those meetings could run over and we have people sitting here waiting.
Yep, agreed.
Let's give ourselves some
I'm good with 5:30 too.
5:30. Okay.
But we do have some
no.
school board members that...
Summer break. Summer break.
Oh, well, disregard the school board members. They're good. They're good too.
I agree, too, 5:30.
Okay, so 5:30 it is.
thank you. We will work with the clerk and notice that, and see you then.
See you then. Anything else? Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. Town manager.
Messy. They're really dirty.
Oh, wow.
Got the fish tank look?
We want to remind everyone that this week is National Public Works Week, and we want to say thank you to all of our folks in Public Works and the hard work that they do for our community. So we appreciate you guys and everything that you do. As a reminder, if you haven't yet had an opportunity, if you can please submit your budget priorities for the upcoming budget. Some special events that are happening. We have Memorial Day on Monday, and all of our facilities will be closed, I think, except for the marina. So we will be hosting our Memorial Day ceremony, sponsored by the VFW Post 9610 at 11 a.m. in Kelsey Park. We really encourage the community to come out. There'll be a free barbecue at the VFW Post at 354 10th Street following the event. And last year it was really, really great, and the food was great too, so I encourage everyone to come out. Sunset Celebration will be at the end of the month on Friday, May 29th. And it will be the Ladies of Memory Lane will be there singing. So that'll be great. We have Jet Set FC soccer camp coming up from June 1st to June 5th at Burt Bostrom. And it's for children ages 5 to 16 years old. And who knows, maybe there will be a guest coach.
Is there a limit to the number?
I don't believe so, but the camp is free for Lake Park residents.
And do they need people to assist as assistant coaches?
Yes, you Are you signing up?
I just asked a question.
I heard
I
it as
didn't
you were
volunteer,
I might.
but we'll see. We'll see. I think I can get some volunteers.
And then also our holiday sanitation schedule will be online. And so I encourage the public to take a look at that, but there will not be service on Memorial Day. And then the rest of the week will be adjusted. And then tomorrow, there is a very special day, and I didn't know if you guys would join me in singing happy birthday. You gonna sing with me?
On my birthday.
To Commissioner Linden.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Commissioner John Linden.
Happy birthday to you.
And he's celebrating his 29th birthday.
How old?
He's 29 tomorrow.
29.
29. So again, and then the week after I'll be at my conference, and so my manager's conference. So thank you guys.
See, I'm mad at you. You didn't sing for my birthday.
You know, I noticed
Yes,
that.
we
Yeah.
sent. I sent you notes.
Okay, I didn't hear singing, though.
I didn't hear singing either.
singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right,
even
I'm
had it where it shoots out the confetti
It's okay.
that I figured out that Jason was supposed to show me, but he never did.
All set?
Yes, sir.
All right. Commissioner Rourke.
Thank you. First, I want to apologize for not being at the Haitian Flag Day celebration. I am going through something very personal to me. That's really a wonderful thing in my life. My son is getting ready to get married, and there's all these, the way they do marriages nowadays, I don't know how they get through the process, but their destination, everything's, and so we've been very busy, and at the end of June, I'll be going down to Lima, Peru, where we'll be, where my son's fiance's family is from, and so I'll be enjoying that. But there's still a lot of events left, so I apologize for not being there for that. The other thing I would, that's all. I'm just looking for giving you my excuse, you know. The other thing I would like to say is that with regard to the Memorial Day celebration, this town has been doing that celebration with our VFW post for, I would guess, about 10 years now that I'm aware of it. And it's really a wonderful event. So please, as a part of our town, this is something special to our town. And when you come to this event, you'll understand why. It's a wonderful event, and it's very important to remember those that gave their lives for our country. And so this is one of those opportunities to do that. The VFW has a great function afterwards, and I look forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Thomas.
Nothing.
Okay. Commissioner Linden. Birthday boy.
Birthday boy, thank you. First, I want to thank the commission for the card they sent from my sister. Oh, it's very nice, thank you. And that's about it. We're a really close-knit family, and when I opened the card, I was very impressed. So thank you all very much. We mentioned a few things, the Haitian Flag Day, nice time, hot.
You ain't kidding.
We got to talk to them about starting instead of 3, a little later.
Just tell them to
but
start at
anyhow,
2 and it'll start at 3.
Start at 5, 6, whatever, but it was still powerfully hot. The VFW had a really nice yard sale for those that were able to get there. We got some great video of it, and I'm missing one.
The vintage place had a thing going on that same day too.
Oh,
what's her name?
Jesse's?
Not Jesse, next door.
Oh, okay.
They did something
Yeah,
similar.
so we've got a lot of good things going on in the town. And when, like myself, when you talk to residents and they say, what's going on and how did it go? I had mentioned earlier, we really need to do something with our newsletter to bring the people more engaged. We had some great events that they should be sitting back and saying, wow, how did I miss that? And last but not least, last night, we had a community watch meeting. Unfortunately, there was 3 people, Joanne, myself, and Rick Goodsell. And I felt bad for the deputy. Did a great presentation, but we need to somehow promote that within to get people out there. And as he said last night, you see a lot of people, if there's a problem in a neighborhood, they show up. But when there's no problem, they don't come around. But I think that's something that we do that we could really add something to it to get the people to come out and join us. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good thought there.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you for that, Commissioner Linden. Vice Mayor.
I gonna be quick. I just want to tell all you guys I hope you enjoy your summer break that you have, and
You.
I got a summer
I
break.
don't get
how to
why.
get up and
That's a dig.
enjoy your time, right?
Why are you looking at me when you say that? You know I don't have a summer break. So why do you even have to say it?
Thank you, all you
Is
school
that all you
folks.
have?
No, I did have a good time at the Haitian Flag Day, and I hope we continue to have more events. I do agree with Commissioner Linden. We could probably start that a little later because it was really hot. And just to piggyback off about the community watch, too, I think it's very important for Lake Park residents before, a lot of stuff come to us and we make decisions on it when it comes to development or rules or regulations. But I encourage people to attend the planning and zoning meetings because before they come here, they go there first, and you can have a lot of input instead of trying to, put your input pretty much at the end of it when you can start at the beginning. So find out, communicate, attend the planning and zoning meetings. I think they're very good information. And they ask really good questions, and you can chime in. So, 10 those. That's it.
Town Manager, you said you had 2 other things to add?
Yes, real quickly. Our library director has been working for a while on our hours at the library. And beginning on June 1st, the hours will be shifting so that we can be open later and accommodate more of our community and support, even some of the young adults in our community. So there'll be a number of new programs that are offered as well. So I appreciate Judy working on that, and we'll be promoting that as well. The other thing that I wanted to mention was Nadia has been working on this since I've been here as well in adjusting our code enforcement schedules so that we are working later in the evening and then on the weekends. And that has already begun. We've already started to do that. And it's another opportunity for us to educate and communicate to our public on, our codes and ensuring that if there is construction going on, it's properly permitted and approved. So I appreciate that, and I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware and the community was aware. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be short and brief. Piggyback off of Commissioner O'Rourke's comments towards the VFW and how they've been working with us. I did attend their community art sale. In fact, I did a video on them, highlighting them, and also that we're working on the newsletter as well to highlight them on the newsletter. They are a wonderful group, and they do a lot of work. If you don't know about them, go to vfw.org. They're on 10th Street, just south of Park Avenue, on the west end. They do lots of stuff. They do fish fries. They do food. Everything they do is for the veterans. Please go and see them. They are a wonderful group. We're happy to have them here. They've been here literally as long as I've lived here, basically. So, and I even have family members that was a part of their group. So happy to have them here. Happy to collaborate with them. and looking forward to more interactions with them, as well as they come to our sunset celebrations as well. So, aside from that, that's all I pretty much have. So I will say and entertain a motion of adjournment.
I make a motion to
Before we
adjourn.
do, there's a request for agenda items.
Yes, thank you for that.
We have not had a town manager evaluation done since he's been here, and we need to schedule that.
Okay. Okay. I will have that. Anything else? If not, I will entertain a motion of adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Oh, second.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everybody.
Stay longer.
What the?